Browducation. Sarah, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm so stoked for today's episode. Let's dive right in and have you kind of share with my listeners just what inspired you to start Shed Wax Bar and how you got into the beauty industry.
Okay, so hi, I'm Sarah. I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's kind of funny how I got here because I never in a million years thought that I would own my own business. I never had the thought of owning my own business. I was working at a chain kind of like EWC. In South Carolina, it's called, or it was called, Ultraskin, but it was run by people that used to run an EWC. So it was the exact same concept. We just wore blue instead of red. Uh, and a few years ago, my two friends that I made at the wax center went solo, and I don't know, it just was a very weird journey. I was very stagnant at the wax center, and in 2019 I decided to uproot my entire life in South Carolina and move to Vegas. And I was waxing, working in Vegas. The center I or the place I started working for did not go well in any capacity. So I was just kind of like working a regular job, and then the pandemic happened. So that's what brought me back to South Carolina. I went back to my wax center job, hated it because it was under complete new management, a new
No.
name, and the whole reason I ended up going solo was because I came in one day and anybody that was of a black race or minority race was fired. And I just could not understand like what was going on, and I refused to work under somebody that, yes, that did not line
God.
up with my morals. So it was very shortly after that I was like, I cannot be here anymore. I don't agree
Yeah.
with what's going on. And I told the few clients that I could tell, like, hey, like, I'm getting out of here. You're more than welcome to like take my number, hit me up whenever you need a wax, but like I'm done.
Oh
And
my
I kind of just
God.
like threw my business together. I started off just as like Sarah Ash Wax. I was working in
Yeah.
an 8x8 room out of one of my clients' hair salons. It was literally a closet.
My God.
I was there for about 3 months because her and I both knew like her spot wasn't like my end goal. It was just kind of to
Yeah.
like get me out
Help
of
you
there.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I found the space that I'm in now 3 months later. I moved out. I started off in here as Millennial Wax Co. And it was very much like the pinks, purples, like these themed. And then I went on a retreat and I just realized like I don't like the vibe. It's not like me. So
Yeah.
at my year of being open, I completely rebranded to what is now Shed Wax Bar, and I'm coming up on 4 years, the end of August. So
Congratulations. That is a
thank
huge
you.
feat. My God. You
Thank
have been through
you.
the ringer. That is
Yeah.
horrible. Were you seeing that same like systemic racism towards clients as well? Was it just the people that worked there? Were you seeing that same level or
The
were they just looking
vibe,
at everybody as money?
yeah, the vibe was so weird there. And the craziest part about it all was our new owner is Brazilian. Like, she I don't know what it is or what it was, but I was very confused and I asked questions and nobody really had answers for me. And it was, I don't know, it was just such a whirlwind of a day when it happened. Like, I remember the
Absolutely.
day so vividly because at the WEC Center, we all came in at the same time every morning. Girls that were fired that morning were asked to come in a few minutes earlier than everyone else. They were let go.
Wow.
And as everybody else was showing up, like they were storming out of the store, like obviously upset.
Rightfully so. Yeah,
And I was just
absolutely.
what is going on? And before I moved to Vegas, like I worked with those girls in that building for almost 7 years. Like I was at the Wax Center for almost 7 years, and that was the most diverse our team had ever been. And I was like really proud of that. I was like, this is
Yeah.
really cool. Like, we have all sorts of people coming in and out of here. Like, and to me, that's really important, especially living in South Carolina in a small town. I understand Myrtle Beach is like a tourist attraction town, but it's very small here.
Yeah.
And that was like very important to me to have that. And
Yeah.
seeing like all the girls that we had working there from like all different paths of life, like we were also like pretty good age ranges as well. We were from like 19 to 40. So
I
like
feel like there's so many benefits to that because
me
we're
too,
working with all types of people. So I feel like
me
when you
too.
have a diverse team, they're able to not only attract a wide variety of people, because I feel like it makes people feel safer going into a
Mhm.
place that has diversity. Obviously, I feel like it feels more inclusive.
Mhm.
And I feel like it just sets you up for success because there's different hair types, there's different skin types, there's all these different things, and it plays to different people's strengths, right?
Yeah, I
And so
agree.
it's oh my god, it's such a horrible thing to see somebody remove such a beautiful team, like you were saying,
It
seeing
was,
all that diversity, all the different age ranges and everything.
yeah, it was honestly chilling to like
Yeah,
watch it happen. And like I said, it was just such a whirlwind of a few hours that morning, and just like so much confusion and nobody had answers. And I was just like, it was that day that I decided, like, okay, I need to start planning my exit because
yeah,
I can't consciously work here anymore. And because although like I don't have the same beliefs or didn't agree with what was going on, like I'm still working under somebody who is doing that. And I couldn't consciously work there any longer and be under somebody that believes those things, because that mirrors to the rest of us. Like,
absolutely. And God
so I
forbid
just
you get
couldn't.
a reputation for feeling the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have that exact same fear. That's so
Yeah.
horrible. And then, you're talking about like future successes, right? I wouldn't want to be
Mm.
intrinsically tied to a company that had those values. I mean, lack thereof, clearly, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
totally see your perspective and I would want out immediately as well.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to hear this side of it because I know that obviously it's probably not the first, probably not the last, as sad as it is to say, but I feel like we normally hear almost the reverse, where we get really shitty clients that come in and have and try to shove their beliefs into our face, or they, talk shit to the service provider, or, they treat them like shit. And it's just so crazy to hear it from the flip side of it being from the
Mhm.
actual business itself towards not only customers, but like their actual employees. Like that's
Yes.
so, that literally
It
breaks
was,
my heart.
I've said this and I feel like a broken record already, but it truly was some of the wildest things I've ever seen in like a business. And before becoming a waxer, like I worked in bars. Like
Yeah,
I was a bartender, I was a shooter girl, like I did all the bar nightlife things, and you would imagine seeing it there. And I didn't
yeah.
even see it there. And I was
Which
just
you're
like,
like, wow, says a
what?
lot.
What is
Yeah.
going on? Like it was just, it felt like a fever dream,
Yeah,
honestly. And
I
I've
could see that.
I've grown up in South Carolina. I've been in South Carolina almost my whole life, and you see a lot of it, especially in the Bible Belt that they call it where I
Yeah.
live. Like it's it's very conservative here,
Yeah. We'll throw
and
that throw
it
that title
just
out there.
it's just, I have just never seen anything like that in a place of business. And I just knew right then and there, like, I had to plan my exit. And my clients even started to notice, like, you're not happy here. And my clients were bonding together, like, how can we help you get out of here? Like, we will literally do anything because we see you're not happy here and
Yeah.
we love you. That was a really cool thing as well. They don't want to lose me, which is
Yeah.
cool.
No,
I had so many of my hairstylist clients and real estate clients looking for places to put me or help me out, and it was really cool. That aspect was really cool of it all, but that day
Absolutely.
I knew
And I
like I
think
don't know where I'm going, but
yeah.
I'm leaving.
But you have a strong following,
Yeah.
absolutely, and that's so incredible because I feel like that's the biggest fear, right, of going out on your own is that nobody follows you. I think we feel the same way when we leave beauty school, especially if you are somebody who is able to attract a lot of clientele and business in beauty school, you leave and you're like, "Oh crap, I have nothing to show for it and I have no clients," and then you
Yeah.
kind of freak out, and then when you see chains like that, there's always the a little extra lace of fear of that people not following because
Mhm.
they like to kind of stick to that business model where it's a little bit more affordable and different things like that for clientele. And obviously, going out on your own, we have to raise our prices in order to afford everything. How did you feel once you kind of settled into Shed and got kind of found your actual space? How was it? Did you feel like your clientele stuck with you throughout that entire transition? Because it was kind of a lot of couple different jumps.
Yeah.
And yeah, you felt good about everything.
So the first 6 months of me going out on my own, I'm not gonna lie to you, I cried almost every day. I was
Yeah.
like, what am I doing? How am I gonna make this work? I have my few clients that I've had for years because I was also very lucky, not to backtrack, but I was also very lucky when I moved back from Vegas. I didn't tell any of my clients I was back because one, I didn't plan on staying. I truly and fully believed I was going back to Vegas. But
Okay.
obviously, the pandemic was what it was, and I had to
Yeah.
start working, right? And South Carolina was one of the first states to like reopen. So,
Okay.
like, we reopened in May, like mid May of 2020. Yeah.
Okay.
And my job in Vegas didn't call me to ask me to come back until August. So
Yeah.
I had already started rebuilding my clientele. And a lot of my old clientele slowly started realizing, like, oh, Sarah's back. So I'm very lucky in that aspect that those few clients that came back to me in 2020 stuck with me when I left the wax center as well. And I was very grateful. Like I said, the first 6 months were really hard, but once I started gaining momentum and my clients realized, okay, she's starting to like settle in, they came in so heavy with referrals that it was crazy. Like my the first 6 months were really hard, but the 6 months after that, I really started to like gain the momentum and I started to be like, okay, my days are filling up. It's starting to get a lot better. Because I was open Monday through Saturday when I first went on my own. I was like, I'm just going to keep the same days that I was working at the wax center. So, like, my availability's open, right? And then I think, I want to say I was solo for like a year and a half. And my dad's health started to decline a little bit. So I had to start working Monday through Saturday or Wednesday through Saturday. So that kind of like condensed my week and it made my days fill up a lot,
Yeah.
like a lot more because I was working less days. But ever since that like second half of my first year open, like I really started to gain momentum and it's been really great. I'm also in a spot in Myrtle Beach that is like constantly growing. Like they're
That's
building
great.
houses everywhere in the community that I'm in. So I get a lot of people that are like new guests that are just moving into town.
Yeah.
I actually have a European wax center across the street from me, and I get a lot of clients from them as well.
Was gonna say,
Yeah.
I think we fear a little bit. It's funny. I feel like you should be. I think we should be fearful of another solo person more so than we
Yeah.
should be of those bigger businesses because it's kind of funny how much they drive business to somebody who
Yeah.
actually gives a shit. I mean, that's their biggest flaw is that they pump these services out and they don't care about their
Mhm.
staff or their clientele. And
Yep.
people will budget and use that discounted service until they've had enough and then they
Yeah.
will seek elsewhere. I think it's just like there's no longevity in it at all because it's just
I
they're
know.
terrible people. They're just not.
I had a DM 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It was earlier this week or later of the last week, but it was a lady. She was like, "Hi, I just moved here from like Jersey or something. She was like, I've been going to EWC just to use up my package, but I saw you're across the street and I just want you to know, like, I will be coming to you soon. I was
Oh, I
like,
love that.
okay, thanks, girl. Like, I'll be here when you're ready.
That's amazing. I love
I
that
just
kind
thought
of
it was
stuff.
funny. I just thought it was funny. I was like,
Yeah, no, and, I love to see that support because it's funny how it's almost a benefit that you're so close because they can just be like, "And I'm leaving here and going there,"
and
like,
I'm
that's
out.
so easy to find. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm over
That's
it.
perfect. Kinda going off that train of just, like, how you started and now you kind of looking back, I feel like hindsight is always 2020. If you could give, like, one piece of advice to a new beauty pro trying to grow in this space, what would it be?
Would probably give two things. And I feel like the one thing that everybody tells you is like, when you go out on your own, just be yourself. Like, it truly is, but it's true. Like, it truly is so important. Um, and then community. I
Yeah.
think I think there's such a lack of community working at a wax center because they kind of, I don't know
You're
how it
almost
is.
in competition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they make it out to be like you're in competition with each other.
absolutely.
I remember the first few years that I was at the wax center, like it was just like a dog eat dog world out there.
Uh,
And some of the girls I even went through school with, and we were like really good friends in school, and then we started working together, and it was a nightmare. Like the cattiness was crazy. So when I went solo, I didn't even want to be waxing anymore. I went solo because it was already the career path that I was going down, and I felt like my back was against the wall with everything that happened at the wax center,
yeah,
and I just needed to make it work.
yeah,
And I slowly started like following people on Instagram because I was trying to like find some sort of inspiration. And I slowly started to make friends in the community.
yeah,
This door was open, and it was the craziest thing I had ever experienced in my life because I was like making genuine friends with people that, I don't know. I think when you start off, you get really caught up in like the likes and the follows and
yeah, the
all
vanity
of like the
metrics.
numbers of it all.
Yeah,
And I was just like, oh, these girls that have like millions and thousands of followers want to be my friend, and I don't know what's going on here. But it really is just like that crave of community. I think,
it is.
I
And I think
think,
it's a little bit easier to make those friends online versus in person at first
mhm,
because we do, especially you reeling off of that competitive kind of feel.
mhm,
Even though you didn't feel like, I'm sure you didn't feel that way leaving, I feel like there's just some of it kind of intrinsically stuck to us. And
yeah,
so it gets a little fearful. I remember only making friends with people in my area who were doing the exact opposite of what I was doing because I was just
mhm,
fearful of like, I don't know, you get like, they're going to steal my secret recipe or my secret
yeah,
sauce, which is a crazy concept, but I know that we've all felt that way at the beginning. We all think, which is beautiful, we are doing everything differently, but I think we get scared that they're gonna
mhm,
steal how we're doing things or how we think or how we view stuff or whatever strong opinion we have that we've been leaning
yep,
into. And the online world is perfect because you're like, we can talk about stuff. We're on the same page. It's so
mhm,
wonderful to find people who get your thing,
yeah,
especially when you're so passionate about your business. Owning a business is hard as fuck. Doing these services is hard, working with clients is hard. It's so nice to have somebody to talk to, but I feel like that space and like the separation was is nice. And then it's kind of sad because you get really close and you're like, I wish we were
why you
closer.
live
Like,
so far away?
yeah, exactly. And
And
then
I
I
feel
think that's
like
when you kind of switch and start to find people in your own community because you're like, I wish they were closer. Now I kind of crave that and I want that.
the first two good friends I made through Instagram were Emily from Uproot and Wax That
Yes.
Ash, and they're both on the West Coast, and I was just like, here we go. Great. And I'm just like, everybody that I've become really good friends with for the most part is West Coast. Like you're West Coast, right? I think the closest two people that I've gotten like really close with or like become friends with through the community, that Reese from Moon Me is the, I don't know if you, she's an
Yeah.
hour away from me.
Oh, I
And
love
then
that. She's awesome.
yeah, maybe an hour and a half. And then Who else is like really close? Jalen from the Raleigh waxologist. She's like 3 hours from me, and I made
Okay,
friends with her through Enzo.
cool.
They're like the closest two people, and they're still not even in the same state as me.
Yeah.
And
It's
I'm just
funny
like,
you say that
okay,
too, because I feel like obviously I know the people that are on the West Coast, but then I feel the same way. I feel like I have friends over, on the East
mhm,
Coast and stuff, and you feel that swap, and it's so hard. And the other funny part is, of course, being in a state like California, because I'm in California, whereas people are like, "Oh, we guys are so close," and I'm like,
California is huge.
"They're in SoCal, I'm in NorCal, like we are 8 hours apart, like we are not close."
Actually, not quite.
Right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
I love the idea of having that kind of friend group across the country, which is so much
Mhm.
fun. And
Me
it's
too.
really cool to stay tied to not only each other, but like up on what is trending over there versus here
Mhm.
and the different demographics and the different, regulations. It's kind of fun
Yeah.
to bounce ideas off of, oh, you're not allowed to do that. Or, in states where they're starting to remove some of our licensing or our scope of practice, I think it's
Scary.
really important for us to stay connected in that way, not only community, but like support through
Yeah.
all those changes and all the differences that can happen because it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is scary. I will say I am very lucky to still be friends with two girls that I worked with at the wax center. Like almost all of the main girls that I started working with, we're all solo at this point. But we're
Yeah.
all in like our own little areas of Myrtle Beach to where it doesn't really conflict with each other. But
Yeah.
two of the girls are actually the ones that like sat me down and were like, you can do this, and like
Oh,
wrote out a list
good.
of like everything they did to open their business, and they were like, here you go. So
I
like
love that.
the three of us have a group chat, and like although we don't talk all the time, we do like bounce ideas off of each other every now and then and be like, hey, are you experienced this because I am. So we still have that. We're just not as close as I am with like my online friends.
Totally. I think there's also just like the ability to like, I don't know, chat a lot easier. We're all busy. So it's kind of
Yeah.
nice to not have to, because I feel like there's the pull to like meet when you're like hanging out with somebody in your area versus just like a shooting a message or something, which is a
Yeah.
lot easier. Sad to
Or
say,
voice
but
note.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Somewhere we can plug in throughout our day.
Mhm.
What do you think is one misconception that people have about brow shaping or body waxing that you wish more clients understood?
Mm, a misconception. Well, I know it's not like this in California, or I would assume it's not just based off of what I experienced living in Vegas, but here in South Carolina, waxing is still just so taboo. Like,
Really?
people don't talk about it. And like, I have clients who are like groups of friends that don't even know that they all come to me.
That's crazy.
So it's still pretty taboo here to like be like, "Oh, I'm getting my vagina waxed. Don't tell anybody."
Okay.
But I also have like the other end of the spectrum of my clients who like they tell everybody, cuz
Yeah.
I actually have a lot of clients that have moved here from the West Coast that I've gained
They're like,
over
"Where
the
do I get my wax?"
yeah,
'Cause we don't care.
they're like taking their clothes off before the door is even
Yeah.
closed. I'm like, "Hey girl, hop on up there. But it's like I love having the mix because I've been in this industry for so long. Like this is my 10th year of waxing. So I've been doing this so long that like I just love having the mix of clients because I'm that way. Like I
Yeah.
don't care about being naked in front of somebody else to get waxed. I try to instill that in all of my clients that were like born and raised here, and I'm like, girl, it's okay. I got you.
Yeah, it's
Like,
interesting that you say that because I feel like I feel the same way. Like, I tell all my clients that I get Brazilians, I tell them exactly where to go because I love my girls so much, and I love the results. I feel lost without it, but there is a little bit of the taboo of like just the body dysmorphia side of it, where it's
mhm.
like my girl recently hurt herself and she had to be out for a couple months, and I just like was like, okay, well, I guess we're going full bush because I don't want to go see anybody else. And half of it was like my loyalty of just like I don't know how good anybody else is gonna be, like, I just wanna stick with
Yeah.
my girl, and then the other flip side of it is, like, I really don't feel like being spread eagle to a new person. Like,
Yeah,
this
I
is who
get
I've
it.
seen for years. And so I definitely, as much as it's a shock to hear that people are kind of taboo about it, I do kind of see the level of it, especially me being not a body waxer Brazilian artist at all. I can kind of see the feel for it because I feel like being in the beauty industry, you kind of lose the client mindset because you've just been in it. But I do feel like I still have the client mindset a little bit because of being a little
Yeah,
bit more removed from it. But it's very interesting because it is one of those things where I don't know. I don't know that it's embarrassment or just like I'd rather not. Like, you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, I think a lot of it here is just like, again, the conservativeness of where I
Yes,
live.
I could see
It's
that.
just like, only my husband can see my vagina. And I'm like, no, girl, lay down. Like, I got you. It's really okay.
And I
He
think
can
they
thank me
forget that
later.
like it's your business. Like you're not like this isn't sexual, this isn't weird, this isn't a personal visit. Like you're not like I saw somebody talking about I think it was I don't remember. I think it was a guy who was talking about getting a Brazilian done, and he was like, it was hilarious because she's literally waxing me. I've got my legs thrown in the air, and she's like asking me about something. We're having this conversation that continues through all these wild. Oh, it was Benny Blanco, which is so funny. He was on a podcast and he was talking about how he had gotten waxed, and he was saying how great it was, which I thought was hilarious. But he
It
was
is
like,
hilarious. I'm gonna have to look for that because that is really funny.
sent it to you. Yeah, he
Okay.
was like, also, the butthole does not hurt. And I was like, oh my God, I love that.
Honestly, I have very few male clients because when I went out on my own, I
Yeah,
decided that the only male clientele I was going to take were referrals from clients I already had. So a
I
lot
think
of
that's
my
a
male,
brilliant way to go about it.
yeah, I've dealt with my fair share of weirdos.
Yeah.
So
Ugh.
the few male clientele that I do have are boyfriends or husbands of clients I've had for years. It's funny you mentioned that clip with Benny because I had one of my male clients right before I went on vacation last week, and I was doing his Brazilian, and he goes, "Does this ever just like catch you off guard?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "I'm literally butt ass naked on your bed. Like, I don't even have my socks on." And we are literally just talking about how, like, you hope your boyfriend proposes on vacation. Like, he's like, and I'm 1,000% going to go home and tell my wife about this. Like, he's like, I'm just like, I'm thinking about these things, like, as you're waxing my entire lower half. And I was like, I haven't even second guessed that you were naked on my bed right now, sir. I'm
It
sorry.
becomes
Like,
anatomy, right? Like
yeah,
it becomes anatomy. It's about like strategic wax placement, proper
yeah,
removal. It has nothing to do with like you're like we are
yeah.
not we're not
He was
thinking
just
about
like,
that
he's
at
like,
all.
I've had deeper conversations with you than I have my friends. Like, this is ridiculous. I was like,
It's
just call
so
me your
real.
therapist. It's fine.
I love that. So,
So
are you
funny.
predominantly doing body waxing and Brazilians? Are you feeling like a uptick in brows? What is your kind of service mix?
Yeah, so 1,000% Brazilians are my highest on the list of things. I recently actually took legs and arms off of my menu. I
Good
still
for
do
you.
it for my clients that have been getting it done for years. I still offer it to them, but I don't offer it to like new people coming in. It just doesn't seem worth it to me anymore. Plus, I'm tired.
Babe, listen, you are too good to still be turning away threading clients because you don't know how. My hand time threading will literally change your beauty menu and your bank account. I break it down step by step, show you exactly how to make every client obsessed with their brows, and give you a skill that'll keep your schedule full. You don't need to wait another year to feel confident. You just need to start. Links in the show notes. Let's go. I was gonna say, you guys there's no way to charge what you deserve for
No.
those freaking services. They're so
No.
hard.
So I still do it for the clients that have been getting it done for years. I just took it off my menu offline. But my second highest service is brows. But the
Love
past
that.
2 years, I've taken brows way more seriously and have started like
Yeah.
investing more in education when it comes to brows because
Yeah.
South Carolina is like 5 years behind on beauty trends. Like brow laminations were not really a thing until like a year ago here.
Okay.
And I tell my friends that, and they're just like, "What do you mean? We've been doing laminations for years." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm still trying to convince people to get undressed to wax
Yeah.
their vaginas. Like, they don't know what a brow lamination is. So I promised myself that I would take like my education in laminations like really seriously because I kind of wanted to market myself to be the girl to go to for laminations, and I have had a lot more clients coming in the past like 6 to 7 months for laminations specifically, so it's working.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally know what your pain is with that too, because I was the first one to offer brow lamination in my town too.
Mhm.
And this was a few years ago, of course. We were at California. It's funny because California is one of the ones that I do feel like is really up on the trends, but you have to also,
Mhm.
like we were just talking about, California is huge. And I'm
Yeah.
on the top northern side of it, and we're a small rural area that's like an ag town,
Okay.
less, big city. There's not a lot to
Yeah.
do around here. There's not a big reason for you to be really done up at all
Yeah.
times. So it is different. And I think like you said, it's just about taking your education seriously and figuring out a way to market it to your like clientele, like
Mhm.
how can you position the laminations solution to their specific types of problems.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, I think that it's just about being less outlandish and more just like polished, and it's more of a benefit of like having the control of the hairs and different things like that, where I feel like you just have to position yourself a little bit differently, because that's how we are. It wasn't that in this area, it wasn't that people were seeking out brow lamination because they knew of
Yeah.
it. Of course, now it's more on social media, so people are a little bit more aware of it. But back then, they weren't like looking for it. It was more me
Mhm.
recommending it because of a problem that they came to me with. And so I get that when it's not as popular in your area, that kind of going about it in that way, it's you kind of have to just do things a little bit differently than the areas that have it
Yeah.
poppin', and they're more up on the times and things like that.
Yeah, I have friends that offer it or were offering it before I was, and I have clients that have gone to them for it, and they've even asked me like, "Why do you charge more than them if you're doing the same service?" And I'm like, "Because I have invested so much in my education for this, and
Mhm.
they're doing it if people ask." It's
Exactly.
not
There's a
like
huge difference.
I'm actually marketing it for my business and they're doing it if people ask, "Oh, do you do this service?" They don't want to specialize in it like I do. I
And
want
it's
to
like a money
specialize in
grab
it.
versus you
Yeah.
actually loving the service. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do. I charge I think like $45 more than like
Good for you.
my friends around me, but
Yeah.
also like I don't, not to toot my own horn, but I've done corrective services from like other girls
Exactly.
around me. And I've like educated my clients on what to do, what not to do, why I'm doing certain things. And that's why I personally charge more. Because
It's a huge difference.
I was scared to charge what I charge
Absolutely.
$125 and it does the lamination, a wax, and a tint. And I was scared to do that at first, but I'm also like proud of myself for doing the work and getting the
Exactly.
education that I did on it. And it's something I really want to promote for my business. So why
Totally.
not?
And that makes a huge difference, because one of the things that I think that people forget about is you just offering a service and having no educational background. It means that it could look good day one. There's no
Yeah.
guarantee that it looks good day, 14,
Mhm.
day 28. It doesn't, like, that doesn't translate unless you put in the time to learn the service and what it really needs, and then they look great up until their next appointment.
Yeah.
And I think when we're dealing with chemical services, that's a lot of the problems. I see it a lot with lash lifts in my area, where I'm just like, they look good day one because they're super duper lifted, and then you get 2 weeks later and they're like tucked into their eyelid because
Yeah.
they're so curled back. And there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of things. And I even had a client, she was like, your initial lash lift didn't look quite as dramatic, and so I kind of wasn't sure if I wanted to stick with you. But then I saw that nothing changed for the full 8 weeks. It just looked that good the entire time, and I was like, yeah, because I'm not over curling you. But like sometimes clients don't get that, and I
Yeah.
lost so many lash lift clients when I first started offering them, because they'd come
Mhm.
in looking for that one type of look.
Yep.
They wouldn't get it, and I was like, I'm not changing how I'm doing things, because
Yeah.
this isn't about money to me. This is about integrity, and I'm not offering a service that I don't believe in and I can't guarantee. There's just no way. And I think now they're one of my they're slowly creeping up to one of me being a really highly booked service.
Yeah. That's how I
And
was with
so
laminations.
yeah, it
The
pays off.
exact same thing.
It doesn't feel like it in the moment because you feel like you're like, "Fuck, I'm really sending
Yeah.
people away. They hate what I'm doing,"
What
but
am
you're
I
like, "No,
doing?
it'll work. It'll work out.
Yeah.
The right people find you." Okay, what is a hot take you have about the beauty industry that might ruffle some feathers?
A hot take. Just like on the industry in general.
Yeah, or something specific that kind of bugs you or irks you or like an ick.
I just feel like sometimes people take things entirely too seriously. Like,
That's an interesting point.
I I understand like taking your business seriously because
Mhm.
no one else is going to take you seriously if you don't take yourself seriously. But I guess what I'm trying to say is people who take it too seriously to try and grow too quickly or try to like climb to the top too quickly. For me, I feel that should happen just organically. And I feel you being yourself is what's going to get you there. I feel sometimes people get into the industry and they just take the numbers too seriously. They take like social media entirely too seriously. And I was guilty about that at first as well until I had a talk with some of my friends that do have all the followers and all the likes and all the things, right? And they're it's exhausting. Just
I
be
could not agree
yourself,
more.
be yourself, do what feels authentic to you, and that's when things are going to start going in that direction. Like I just feel like you just need to be more authentic. I think a
Yeah,
lot of people try to be what they think other people want them to be online. And
I
it
agree.
just, to me, I think I can like instantly read that as fake at this point. I'm just like,
It does come across fake. It does because when you're trying to be, I think that's the I think that's with not even just our industry, it's just people in general, especially with online presences, is I call it I called it I had a event recently and I called it kind of the beige wash that happened throughout the
yeah,
brow or the beauty industry where everything was beige, everything was creamy white, they all had the same font, everything looked identical. I would come across
identical.
pages and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is quite literally Canva copied and pasted with
Yeah,
like slight tweaks of your opinion." And I mean the logos look the same, the brands look the same, and I totally agree with you. And I was one of those people. Like I always felt like I
too.
had my own
I
kind
was
of
too.
I had a little spin on it. I wouldn't say that I was completely copy and pasted, just not to toot my own horn, but I do feel like I had a little bit of it. But I remember being like, I think that those parts are wrong. Like almost thinking that the uniqueness that I had to it was me doing things incorrectly and being
Yeah,
like, shit, I'm not really like I'm not quite parallel to them. And it's so funny looking back because obviously that was a stronger suit for me that I wasn't exactly like them. And then eventually it gets fucking boring. It's so
yeah,
boring and it's you lose the passion and it's just
yeah.
I'm
You
like
lose your
I'm over this.
creativity.
Yes, it
You,
just zaps from you, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, I don't care about anything anymore. Social media stopped feeling fun for a very, very long
long
time,
time.
and I still slip into that every once in a while, and
I
it's
think we all
always when
do.
I'm trying to do the same thing as everybody else, and I feel like I'm falling behind on this imaginary race that we've all decided to put ourselves on that doesn't
Yes,
actually exist,
it
and I
doesn't.
think you're 100% right. I totally
Yeah.
agree with you.
The second I rebranded to Shed and like redid my entire room, because my room was like pink, purple, and blue. I had lava lamps everywhere. I had like these posters on the wall, and a lot of my clients walked in and was like, "Oh, it's cute." And then when I switched to this, there was not one client of mine, whether they were new to me or like a ride or die from the beginning of me waxing, that did not walk through that door and they were like, this makes sense.
Yes, it screams you.
Mhm. They're
I
like,
love
this
that.
makes way more sense. So I just
Yeah,
think people need to just like give up the bit in a way. Just like,
I agree.
just why? If it works for, like, it works for some people, like, but not everybody is gonna have a pink logo. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
I have a client,
exactly.
I have an older client who has referred so many clients to me. And the very first time she referred a client to me, she was like, "Hey, I just want you to know I referred one of my friends to you, but I did let her know when she walks into your studio to not be alarmed. You're like the sweetest girl on the planet. You just have a little edge to you. And I was like, thanks, girl. She's like, I let them know it's not the calm, serene spa that they're going to be going into. It's a tattoo shop. And I'm like, good, because that's what I was going
Love
for.
that. Yeah. But I mean that
Made
honestly
it.
that's kind of funny because it goes to show that like you showing your personality doesn't turn off the people that maybe it
Hmm.
wouldn't not knowing you, it wouldn't attract it, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe that wouldn't be their first option, but now that they know you, they're like, "Oh no, this makes sense. She's awesome. It has nothing to do with her
Yeah.
talent or her ability at all." And I think that that's a big part of it. And like why would we go out on our own to look like massage envy? You know what I
No,
mean? Like it's just one of those things
that's
like
boring.
I don't want to look like where I came from. That's
Yeah.
not what is happening. We're moving forward. Okay, you're stranded on an island, but you can only bring one beauty product. What is it?
It's probably going to be brow something, brow gel. My boyfriend actually has picked on me about this before. He's like, your brows look the exact same. I'm like, you're literally not looking.
Wait, they look the same but better. Okay.
Yeah, so probably brow gel, because even if I don't put any other makeup on, I put brow products on.
Same. I'm right there with you.
I have to.
Yeah, it's a twist between it's like a tie between that and skincare because like I don't know. I don't know. I think as a beauty pro, it's hard to pick one product first and
Yeah,
foremost.
it
we're,
is.
we're a
Like
little tied
we
to
were
all of this.
we were just at the beach for a week on vacation with my best friend and his family, and I even before getting in the water, I put on brow gel every day. I was like, what am I doing? But it's
I
just
love
like
that.
second nature at this
It's
point.
automatic. Yeah. Totally. I feel the same way. I'm like camping and I'm like, why do I care about this?
What? Yeah,
I'm covered
literally no one's looking at me.
and I'm covered in dirt. Like, why does
I have sunglasses on. They can't even see
Yeah,
my brows.
that's so real. Okay,
Hmm.
kind of going off that same topic. Do you feel that like your perception of yourself related to beauty has changed since becoming a professional in the industry? I know it's been 10 years, same for me,
Mm.
but I feel like a lot has kind of changed over those years as far as like how I kind of perceive myself in the beauty world. How about you?
I mean, I would say yes and no because there are parts of me that like are just like, yeah, I love this. I obviously love this space, right? But I also I don't know if it's just me being just a waxer and I don't do like facials and stuff every day. So I'm not into the whole I have a skincare routine. I don't want people to jump on me in the comments. It's not in depth like everybody else, but when it comes to beauty in general, I feel I've gone through a lot of the trends. Because, like,
Yeah.
when I started, it was, well, I went through cosmetology school first, and I graduated,
Okay.
and I was in cosmetology from 2012 to 2013. That was a weird year for, like, makeup in the beauty space. That was, like, the bold eyebrow where it took up, like, half your face. I did it,
Yeah. We
right?
all
I
found
had
pomade that year.
the full face with no brows done. Like I've done it all. So I think when it comes to just like trying stuff, I'm always willing to try stuff, but I also don't I don't take it super seriously with the following, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not like busting at the seams to like
Try
follow
every
all
new
the
thing.
trends, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm also 33 now. So I'm just
I was
like
gonna say
this works
that's
for
how
me
I
and I'm
feel.
keeping it. Okay,
I feel like it's almost like, excuse me, you get to like when you get into the beauty industry, you want to try all the things and you get really
everything.
far from yourself. And then the longer you're in it, you actually come full circle back to yourself and you're like, I don't want any of that. I just want the things that I like about myself and the things that I think look good. And then
When
I don't
these
care
new
about what
girls
everyone else
started
is
to
doing.
do the fresh face makeup, I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I said
I
the
don't want to
same
do a
thing.
full
I was
face
like,
every
thank
day.
God. I'm on trend now.
I love you. Thank you.
Right.
I love you for that. Thank you. Because
That's
I'm
so true.
tired. I'm tired getting the pomade right. I'm tired of doing a full face and it not matching my neck. Like, I'm tired. Okay?
And it just feels so heavy and thick. I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay, name a beauty myth that makes you want to scream.
God, there's so many of them.
I know, right? Okay, let's do two.
Okay. I think with just being a full body waxer that the waxing and shaving makes everything thicker. Just relax,
I have that
okay?
the amount of
Relax.
times a week that I have to explain how that works is
Yeah,
actually insane.
me too. I've started like finding ways to like use my hands and like I've started
Literally, me
drawing
too.
things for people.
Yes.
I'm like, "Hey girl, let me draw this out for you." Okay?
Making a hair with my finger all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Like,
All the time.
see this? These
Yeah.
are your three hair cycles,
Yes.
okay? I don't know if this is a big thing out there, but there was a really big trend here using ten skin. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Okay, so there was like a really big trend here a few years ago, and there are still like a few floaters now that I have to like correct them and be like, don't let that fucking touch your skin ever again. But they're like, oh my god, it clears everything up, and I'm like, it's drying your skin out, babe.
Okay. I'm not familiar
There's
with
like
I know the product, but I'm not super familiar with it.
it was advertised as like an ingrown hair serum for a long
Okay.
time, and it's literally just alcohol. That's literally all it is. And I'm like, I will come to your house and throw it away. It's almost just as bad as like the St. Ives
Apricot
apricot
scrub. Okay.
scrub. It's worse.
Oh my god.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I
because at
will.
least we're exfoliating a little bit with apricot scrub,
Yeah, I'm
right?
like, I will murder you in your sleep if I find out that touches your skin again. So
That's
those are
crazy.
like the
Yeah,
two the really big things that stand out to me. But I don't know
totally.
if it's any different by you, but those are the two things that like stand out to me.
Understanding how the difference between waxing and shaving is 100% one that I deal with a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't do body waxing, so obviously the facial aftercare versus body aftercare is definitely
Oh
a
my
little
god,
bit
yeah.
different. But yeah, that's
I
crazy.
have to explain that too, and they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "This isn't a three-in-one."
Yeah,
Okay, what are we doing?
right? Well, and that's always the funniest thing to me is like I love when women will talk shit about a dude using a shampoo, conditioner, body wash and then ask for one product to work for everything. And I'm like, honey boo
Yeah,
boo,
no.
we just got done roasting that guy for doing that. Like we are not doing that.
It's actually funny because I feel like now, obviously, I have way less of a male clientele versus my women clientele,
Yeah.
but my male clients take aftercare way more seriously than my female clients. They're like, I just need to know what I'm doing. I cannot fuck your work up. Please
So cute though. I
help
love
me.
that.
Yes, it is like clockwork. They're all buying their aftercare, being like, I'm out of this. I need another one. I'm like,
Oh my
okay.
god, that's amazing. Honestly, I feel like that's kind of funny that there are different clients that get a bad rep. Like I feel like college students in my area, because we have a big university in our town, would get talked shit about a lot. And I'm like, I think that it's a split. Like some of my
Yeah.
college students are better than my grown ass women clients.
Yes,
Like
same. Same.
I feel like I'm like, stop putting these people in corners.
Yeah, same.
What do you think is a skill that most artists skip but shouldn't?
Just like in general or for like a specific
Just in
area.
general. Yeah.
No, again, this is just like going off of my area. I've had to educate a lot about aftercare. And
I do find that that's
it's
skipped from some artists, at least from
it's
like a
so
client coming to you and
frustrating.
being like, "How do you not know this?"
I've even had new guests lately come from EWC and tell me that they didn't learn aftercare there. And I'm like, they preach that shit.
Because they're trying to sell you something. So that's kind of
They can
surprising.
get fired if they don't talk about
Yeah,
it. Like, what do you mean? But yeah,
that's crazy.
I have had to educate so much on aftercare that that's why I started making like reels and stuff about it and like trying my best to make it funny because even some of
Yeah,
my own clients who cuz it is a lot of information off the bat and so like I try and talk about it every time they're in here, but even when I was making my reels, like clients would come and be like, I felt you yelling at me online. I'm like, good, because
singling you out, but if the boot fit.
good, like get it together. But yeah, I've had to educate a lot from like new guests coming in or like clients that may have like left me to go somewhere else for a little while and came back, and like the person they were seeing outside of me didn't preach or like keep them up on aftercare. And
Yeah.
that's kind of disheartening because it's not only like beneficial to your client, it's beneficial to the waxer.
Yeah.
If they're doing their
Absolutely.
job
It
with
makes your job
aftercare,
easier.
it makes
Yeah.
your job so much easier. And I tell my clients that. I'm like, look, I'm doing this for you, but I'm also doing this for me.
It's a mutual thing, babe.
I love you, babe, but I'm really not trying to work harder. Okay?
Or
Just
have
do
you not
it.
happy because you're not able to remove like all of the hairs? Like
Yeah.
this is a symbiotic relationship. Let's work together here.
Yeah. I do have to yell at some. I mean, we live in a beach town, right? So like there are some clients that I have
Absolutely.
to
I can
be
only
like,
imagine.
I'm watching you, bitch.
Yeah.
Do not leave here and go to the beach. But I mean, it is what it is. Even if they do come in, like I have clients that come in their bathing suit and they're like, I'm going to the pool after this. I'm like,
And you're like, I
okay,
hate
just
you.
just shower. Like don't sit in your bathing suit wet. Do your aftercare like tomorrow, please. Like
Yeah.
so I still even preach it to them, but that's like the main thing that sticks out that's like lacking, which is crazy because that's half the job.
It is. And I'm always surprised because I'm just like, how are you skipping this?
Yeah. What are you
They're
doing?
not even asking. Like I don't understand. It's so crazy to me.
One of the
But I
girls that
want to
I
circle.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
One of the girls I used to work with doesn't even carry aftercare. I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, and
What are you
also
doing?
flip side, easy retail. I'm like, why
Yeah,
wouldn't you want to make more money? That's bananas to me. Not only is it
beyond me.
helpful for you and your client, but you could earn more money. That's crazy. Okay,
Whatever.
one last question before we go. If you were just talking about reels that you've made and everything like that, and I always love your content. We've talked about this before. I feel like you do such a good job. What are three pieces of content advice that you could give to somebody trying to do better on social media for somebody who does similar to you, brows and body waxing?
So I'm not gonna lie, I giggled when you sent this question over because I was like, I don't even know if I have advice on
I get
this.
this all the time, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing either, but I feel like
It's
we have to remember that there's other people doing less than us that would like
yeah,
to be doing at least what we're doing. So
it is honestly mind blowing when I get DMs and questions from like other people that are like, how do you come up with this stuff? I'm like, girl, I am literally doing my best. I will realize that I haven't posted for like days, excuse me, and I'm like, maybe I should maybe I should do something, but really just like don't force it is the first thing that I would suggest because I feel
I like
like
that advice.
when we get in our head about things and we try to like follow the trends and
It
whatnot,
really
it
ruins it.
just
Yeah,
it causes burnout so quickly.
I
And
agree.
it's truly not worth all that.
It's
I
not.
have had so many conversations with like my friends, like my best friends outside like of the industry, like my real life best friends and my boyfriend, and they're like, "Why are you so stressed?" And I'm like, "Duh, I have to post something." And they're like, "You really it just don't. It's fine. You don't have to. It's okay."
Especially for like just somebody who's just working in with a studio space, like you do not, especially if your books are filled. I'm like, why are you? What do you?
Yeah.
What do you need the social media? I think we need to remember what is the social media supposed to be doing for you, right? And if
Mhm.
you don't need it to be doing anything, then you don't need to be that stressed about it. Like, and it
Yeah.
also, we're not fucking content creators, so like
I
that is
know.
it's Instagram paying my bills, so
I know.
I shouldn't be working
I
my ass
know.
off for them.
And it's just I would just say just let it come authentically. Don't really just like don't force it. It's the
Yeah,
biggest thing. I've had so many conversations with industry friends about that, and just like another thing that I started to think about more recently is like, if you have industry friends, like try and make it fun and do stuff with them too. You don't have to be in the same space. I posted a reel yesterday with girls that live nowhere near me, but we're all affiliates for Enzo. So we were
saw that one. It was super
yeah, we
cute.
were like,
Yeah, and I
let's
love
do
that trend.
something together. And I thought that was really fun to like collaborate with them on.
Agree. It sparks
Utilize
the
your
creativity.
friends. Yeah. And now there's a few of us that have been like bouncing ideas of like what else we can do together in that like
So
way.
fun.
So that takes some of the pressure off. And then I would just say like if you think it's fun, post it.
Like that advice. I agree.
Like I mean, I have honestly the highest numbers I've gotten on Reels are of me dancing in my suite.
It's always the stuff that you wouldn't expect
It's
too. Like, I'll throw
literally
up something
just
that took
me
me like
like
30 seconds and I'm like, okay, cool,
yeah,
that blew up.
like there was a reel I posted of I remember it I just remember it because I got so many comments and DMs and like shares on this one post. It's of me in a little cheetah skirt shaking my ass and it's like it says something to the effect of like when your new guest reschedules and it's literally just me
Cute.
in like different positions in my room shaking my ass.
I love that though. That's so cute.
I've had like Jane from Lady Pang messaged me and was like, I need you to teach me how to do that. And I'm like, what is going on? It should I literally posted that because one, I thought it was funny. Two, I used to be a club girl. So
Use your
I just I honestly just wanted to know if I still had it, to be
absolutely.
honest.
I love that.
It's like I even texted my best friend Stephanie. I'm literally about to embarrass myself on the internet, but like it's gonna be funny for you and me because
Yeah, right.
we used to gallivant around Myrtle Beach together. And it's also funny because when my boyfriend and I first started talking, we stalked each other online, obviously. And that was one of the first things he saw and he was just like, that's hilarious that
Yeah, I
you
love this
like
girl.
do not care about anything that you post online. I'm like, you just can't take it seriously at this
You
point.
can't,
Like,
absolutely. And the
because it's
longer
technically,
you're on social media, the less it's that serious,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, I agree. So I was just like, that's really it. Just let it be authentic, let it flow the way it's supposed to flow. Don't feel like you have to follow all the trends. You're truly not missing anything.
Yeah.
You're really not. And
And if it
just
doesn't work for you, like it's not meant for you.
yeah, it's not. And if I think honestly, I think there are a few people online that do this really well. Like I think you're one of them. When you find an audio, even if it's an audio that's like a little older or has been used a million times and you're using it way later than when it was trending, if you feel it works for what's going on in your space now, use it.
Yeah.
Use
And
it.
I think the other thing too is even if you're wanting to stick with the trends or try trending audio, like do it differently. Don't
Yeah.
copy and paste whatever you're seeing the trend is doing. Do it like the opposite way or, try
Mhm.
to just do it in a more unique way that fits like you, your
You.
personality, your
Yeah.
space, and whatever topic you're trying to get across. I
Yeah.
totally agree with that. Awesome. This was such a fun conversation. Thank you so much
I'm
for
so
coming
happy
on.
to be here.
I know, and it's so nice to meet you as
Yes,
close to IRL as I feel
I
like we've
know.
had.
We're quite literally on as opposite coast as
I
you
know.
can get.
So true. That's the beauty of this podcast. I keep saying it. I'm like, me selfishly is just that I get to sit, pop on, and chat with all of my favorite people. So
Mhm.
it's so much fun. And I can't thank you enough for being here.
Well, thanks for asking me.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, you guys, you have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you next Thursday.